Those who know the truth learn to love it. Those who love the truth learn to live it. Chapter 1, Me and Money. Me and Money, the Edgewater Beach Hotel. In 1923, at the Edgewater Beach Hotel in Chicago, 8 of the world's wealthiest financiers met. These 8 men controlled more money than the United States government at that time. They included the president of the largest independent steel company. Chapter 2, How Much is Enough? How much is enough? Earl Nightingale said, most people think they want more money than they really do, and they settle for a lot less than they could get. For you to get this prosperity concept into high gear, you must be specific. Exactly how much money do you want? Remember, you are working with your subconscious mind, and the subconscious does not think. It merely accepts images and then moves them into form. So for you to say, I want lots of money, isn't good enough, because no one, least of all the subconscious mind, knows how much lots of is. I strongly recommend that you get very serious about this chapter, because the idea it contains could literally change your life. But understand that thinking by itself is not enough. You must move into action. There are certain things you must do, and the first one is to decide how much money you want. For you to answer this question, it would probably be a good idea for you to decide what you want the money for. But to simply say, I want the money to live on, is not good enough, because first of all, you should realize our society is structured in such a way that the government will keep you. In fact, in most places, they will even mail a check to you. You can sit at home and still receive a living wage. At this point, you are probably saying to yourself, oh yes, I know that, but I want to live better than that. Well, let's get specific. How much better? Bearing in mind that this kind of an exercise is going to require some serious planning on your part, get out a sheet of paper and draw up a list of all the things or activities that you plan to spend money on over the course of the next year. To assist you in getting started with your list, I have outlined several sample categories below. Food, rent, mortgage, clothes, automobiles, utilities, education, vacations, recreation, insurance, and savings. Understandably, these are just a few of the many possibilities, so keep working on your own list until it is complete. And remember, you do not fill in the amount you are now spending. Rather, you take each item on the list, visualize how you want to live, and then fill in the amount of money it will cost you to do so. For example, you might only go out to a nice restaurant to dine on very special occasions, but you might visualize yourself spending a very enjoyable evening out for dinner once a week, where the service is excellent, the food is even better, and the environment is fit for royalty. How much would that cost? That is the figure you're looking for. You could be driving a car that is getting tired and is showing signs of rust, but you might visualize yourself driving a brand new car of your choice that you trade every year or two. How much would that cost? Remember, you do not have a contract to live forever, nor is this a practice run. This is your life, and you should be enjoying it to the fullest extent humanly possible. Therefore, you should have the amount of money you need to provide the things you want to live the way you choose to live. Let me caution you. It would not be unusual for your mind to be playing tricks on you at this point, and you could be thinking, this is really crazy. I'm never going to have the money to live the way this book suggests. I want to remind you, however, that there are many people who do have enough money to live the way this book suggests, and they weren't born with it, and no one left it to them. They were born rich in the sense of having the God-given potential to succeed. Everyone is. But like most people, they were at one time short of money. Understand that you too can succeed, and you will, if you will only do as this book suggests. As I am writing this, I feel compelled to digress for a few lines, to remind you that you have great resources of talent and ability locked up within you. just waiting to be expressed. In this vein, I can vividly recall listening to a tape a number of years ago that Earl Nightingale made on attitude. I must have listened to that tape literally hundreds of times, and there was a part on it where he said, "Now right here we come to a rather strange fact. We tend to minimize the things we can do, the goals we can accomplish, and yet, for some equally strange reason, we think others can do things that we cannot." Earl went on to say, "I want you to know that that is not true. You do have deep reservoirs of talent and ability within you, and you can have the things you want." I wouldn't even want to speculate on how many times I heard that section without really understanding what he meant. And then one day I heard it, and every cell in my brain seemed to resonate with the truth of what he said. I suddenly realized what he was driving at, and I knew deep down inside of me that if they can do it, so can I, if I am willing to pay the price. Please understand you too can do it, because what Earl had to say is as true of you as it was of me. But part of the price for you is to figure out how much is enough. So don't just pull a figure out of the sky. Do it right, because when you're finished, you will be glad you did. Moreover, this exercise will also help you to develop a more disciplined mind. At this point, you might be thinking this section doesn't even concern you, because you are already too deeply in debt to start accumulating a sizable amount of money. But you will be happy to know we have a great idea which will help you deal with that problem as well. Furthermore, you will be delighted to know that in many situations, and yours may be one of them, a person can become wealthy even if he or she never earns any more money than they are earning currently. That thought alone should give you the encouragement you need to continue reading. By now, you should have completed your list and arrived at a figure. So take pen to paper and write that number down in big, bold figures. Now, clear your mind of that idea and move on with me to another very important idea. Realize that although this idea might not apply specifically to you, at least at the present time, it certainly will apply to many readers. Moreover, even if it does not apply to your particular situation, it is worth thinking through anyway, because you certainly have many friends and associates it does apply to, and you will be able to share it with them. I am going to explain this idea to you as if you were a married person with a family to support, and you are either the sole breadwinner or an important contributor. Now, one of the principal reasons for wanting the amount of money you desire is to provide for your family, and not just in an adequate manner. After all, you want them to live life to its fullest. Realize, therefore, that as long as you live and are able to follow the plan outlined in this book, you will be able to do as you want with respect to your family. However, if you really stop and think about it, you will very likely agree that you would want your family to live the good life even if you were suddenly removed from the picture, wouldn't you? Jokingly, you might say, "No, who cares if I'm gone?" But this is not a joking matter. This is a very serious matter. Of course you care. I know it, and so do you. Now, if you're alive and healthy, you will create this wealth for your estate. But what if you die or are permanently disabled? Well, our society has taken care of that situation as well. We have life insurance and we have disability insurance. But let's get back to your thinking again. You might that when it comes to life insurance, I believe I can claim to be an authority of sorts. For I have conducted seminars for the insurance industry for almost 10 years, and I have had close to 50,000 people from that industry go through my seminars. Therefore, I can assure you that when I say approximately 95% of the people whom you talk to are almost completely ignorant when it comes to the subject of insurance, I am not talking through my hat. Granted, many of these people hold important positions in business and in industry, in government, or in the profession.